Hello and welcome to So We Need You to Work on Saturday, a game I think I finally finished off, but we shall see. I'm just testing it out now before I put it up online, and I thought I'd give a short little walkthrough of how to play the game. So this game is all about leaving the office on a Friday. Basically, all this text is just saying, you have to finish a bunch of tasks and you have to avoid your manager. And if he catches up to you, then it's game over because you have to work on the weekend. So right here, I was going to do a tutorial, but I thought just a quick box of text. I tried to make it as pretty as possible, but it is what it is. It just gives you control so you can jump right into the game and start playing around. Right here, we can see this is the office, which is our main play area. First-person shooter. And I did a lot more graphically with this game to try to just create all the assets for this. So basically what the idea is, we have to get to the elevator that's on the other side of the office over there, but before we can do that, we have to finish off all our work tasks, which you can see in the bottom left. And so everything is kind of nicely color-coded because I was trying to make everything as obvious as I could without just holding your hand. So there's a bit of an adventure game kind of thing, so you have to find the item in order to use it on the thing you need to use it on, which I don't think actually makes sense, so I think it's probably easier if I just demonstrate what's going on here. So the first task is to deliver the TPS report to Barry. TPS report, we can see in the radar on the top left there, is that right in front of you. So you pick that up. Now we have to go find Barry, but because I have a super cool adaptive radar, it automatically flags and points you in the right direction of where you need to go to find Barry. With this character, there's a manager right there with a bright glowing pink shirt. Basically, I tried to base him off the guy from Office Space, but you'll hear his dialogue soon. Anyway, so you follow basically up here, and you find out that Barry has the same colored shirt, so you know you need to use this key on him, and boom, get a nice little sound effect to let you know that you finished it. So now we have to go and dispose of 3 trash bags. You can do the task in any order, and plus another checkpoint system, so you don't have to worry if you die. You don't have to redo all this over again. The only exception is the boss fight. Once you get to that, then you have to do it all in one go. But that's because it's a boss fight. Actually, we have the computer right here. So you see in the radar, once you're close to a game object that you need to find, then it's pretty obvious of where it is. So you can see there's the blue computer. Use the blue computer, pick it up. Now we have the radar indicator to show us just where, what's his name? I think I called him Steve. Steve, his behavior pattern is he just goes from pillar to pillar. He just walks around randomly. But I just gave him 4 key points and he just wanders back and forth. So if we watch him right here, he'll just head towards this pillar mindlessly and then boink. And he's just going to find another pillar, so he's just going to go down there. So you go and you use this on him and boom. So 2 tasks done. Now I'm kind of goofing around here, but the idea was supposed to be kind of like a stealth game. There's not too many stealth mechanics, so the idea is you see the manager coming, so you just go and you duck inside a cubicle away from him to pass by, that sort of thing. If you poke your head up, you can see him a lot easier, but he can see you as well. Because his behavior is pretty random, he just kind of randomly explores the map. He can either be on top of you all the time, or he can leave you alone like he's doing right now. I've had some playthroughs where he's just everywhere I go. But the garbage bags is a little different. All you have to do is find these little trash bags that are scattered around, and you go and boom, shoot a little garbage fireball. So you find 3 of those, and I think I stashed 5 of these bags around the map, so it should be pretty forgiving. Sometimes there can be like 1 or 2 that are hidden off in a corner, so I tried to add some variety to the landscape. So there's a bathroom over there, but I can see the manager coming. He sees me.
Mr. Anderson,
Yeah, some award-winning voice acting right there. I was wondering whether or not to give him like a general dialogue, I don't know, just have him mutter to himself. I think
you were not the first, nor will you be the last.
Just has some dialogue, so when he sees you or when he loses track of you, he just spits out some dialogue so you know when you should be hiding and when you're free to wander around. The other thing was to give him some footstep noises or something. It's kind of a balancing act to see how hard to make this game, so he's pretty silent most of the time. But, once people start playing it, we'll see whether or not it's too hard or not, but he's kind of silent and deadly at the moment until he sees you. So, the last 2 things is turn on the time card. So the time card might be a little tricky for people to find, but if you explore around the map, it could become pretty clear. You're looking for something yellow at this point. You just come over here, and this is kind of the manager's office over here. You like dialogue things. I tried to put more of a narrative in this game, so you can click on these. and we just kind of read emails that are scattered around the office. And just basically, I want to imply that there's something off about the manager. So anyways, you pick up the time card, which is just a rectangle, because I didn't want to get too fancy with it. I was like, I was just trying to make up 5 tasks. I was like, what would you do in an office? I work in manufacturing, so I'm just kind of making up tasks like throwing up garbage or handing in your timesheet or whatever. Yep, and I shouldn't have poked my head up there.
I need to speak with you.
Oh, she has yellow hair, so you know you can use the yellow thing on the yellow person. Oh. And the water can. The water can's kind of conveniently placed to chain all the key items together, so you're not kind of mindlessly roaming the map all the time. I didn't put them in super out-of-the-way locations, or at least I don't think I did.
You can't hide from your responsibilities.
Okay, so he's out of my hair.
Anderson.
So, the water can went through... Oh, wow, this is what I'm talking about. Something he's just randomly on top of you all the time. I just gave him a bunch of points around the office to go and explore, so pretty random. But it just kind of gets you in the mindset of just hiding, keeping your head down, hiding around, making sure he doesn't see you, or lowering the odds of him seeing you. But with this water can, I should point out there's a couple functions I had to code into this game, so you can drop items.
You can't hide from your responsibilities.
There's no real gravity because I didn't want to have any of the key items fall through the map. Which... Oh crap! Go away, buddy.
I need to speak with you.
I didn't want objects to fall through the map, so there's not a lot of physics going on here. It just automatically do a raycast straight down. Spawns a pick-upable item that you can go and then re-pick it up again. He's gonna get me. And actually, this might be a good opportunity to oh wow. Come on, guys. Make me look bad. Get out of here. The NPCs are mostly just for show, to make the office feel a bit more alive. Otherwise, it feels a little empty. Could put some fog in here and try to make it like a Silent Hill office, but I was like, try to make it feel as real as possible. But alright, so let's just go and show you what the game over is. So basically, I'm running around, I don't pay attention, and all of a sudden the boss sneaks up on me, and shabam! Yeah. Little laugh there. Alright, when I first thought of that idea, basically, the significance of that is just it's the first time I put a cutscene in a game. It's got to instantiate a whole separate game object that goes through a bunch of animations. I use the timeline in Unity in order to sync up all those different animations and sound effects. But yeah, in my head that came across a lot creepier, but when I actually animated it, obviously it looks pretty silly, but I just wanted to add some mystery of what's going on in this office and to kind of foreshadow what's going to happen later. Once we finish all these tasks, we're not quite done yet. So the water can basically just find 3 plants. The plants are always near these divider things and that separates the office a bit. When I first, you just splash them. Before you could splash all the time, but it kind of gave the impression that you could splash other objects in the environment, which just wasn't true, so I just restricted it to whenever you're clicking on the right thing. So boom. So that takes care of that. So we finished all the 5 tasks, so now it wants us to log off the work computer, so we look at our radar again, we can see the nice flashing indicators that tell us where our work computer is. And the incentive for that was basically once you finish the 5 tasks, I don't know what order you're going to finish the tasks in. What you need to do is get to that exit over there, and he's going to see me. So by forcing you to go back to the work computer, then we can kind of start the end game process. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a boss fight in this game, but I'm just excited for the boss fight that time. The only reason I keep bringing it up. I'm going to go and drop that back there, and we'll just move on over. There was some, I don't know if it counts as optimizations, but a lot of more objects in this environment than there usually is. It's somewhat open, but I had to put in dividers so the camera's not rendering too much at the same time. It also prevents the boss from seeing you from across the map, which can feel a bit unfair at times. Before I start, I think the only last thing I want to show off, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but originally the idea of this game was that their office was going to randomly generate itself. So you see there's like conference rooms in the center here, there's a bathroom over here, which doesn't get too much use. Oh wow, the reflection there. Yes, great. Anyway, that's actually pretty funny. I'm going to leave it like that. I could do some like real-time reflections, but your character's kind of a headless, armless person right now. So when you look in the mirror, it's going to look pretty awkward. There's ways around it, but kind of like how much effort do I want to put into this room that you don't really need to go in. Sometimes garbages will spawn in here, that's the only reason it's there. As well as the secretary with the yellow hair, she'll wander into the bathroom from time to time, every 45 seconds, I guess. She's not always at her desk. That would have been a lot more impressive if the level was randomly generated, because she would always be able to find out where the bathroom is and navigate her way there.
You can't hide from your responsibilities.
The issue I had with that was when you bake the nav mesh that the AI uses to navigate around the map, when you bake it at runtime or when you start up the game, waypoints are fine, but I found with the more advanced behavior of the manager, he would kind of stall out. It's kind of awkward to see. That's why I figured what was happening. He has a lot going on with him, so he has his vision cone and different behaviors. He used to be a lot more complicated. I shaved him down a bit, or his behavior, I guess.
I will find you.
For the boss fight, I was like, well, you know, I should start putting in Boolean values for when it's the end game and when it's just on top of me again. All right. I swear he's acting randomly, but we'll just go ahead and hit the radar. Or hit the work computer and we'll start the end game process. Basically, we finished the game part and now we can just start the boss fight. I was trying to find some way to indicate, like, this is definitely your desk. He's gonna catch up with me. Actually, that's fine. I was thinking of doing multiple game over screens or animations like that, but that was a decent amount of work. Animation's kind of awkward, or at least it is for me, because I don't usually do it too often. But this is also an awesome way to show off the checkpoint system. So all the tasks are done, it keeps track of all your tasks, so it already knows you need to log off your work computer. You don't have to start over from scratch again. And actually, if we quit out and hit the continue, you should keep track of your progress. But at one point in the development process, I had like 3 different scripts to keep track of your progress, which, because I was building things on top of each other, I had to go and refactor everything to simplify things a bit so it actually worked the way it was supposed to. It was weird. Anyways, let's just get this thing started. Boop. Yep. There we go. So awesome animation. I forget if I did this in Blender or Unity, but that's just basically a picture of my desktop. And I just drew a bunch of pictures and just moved them on top of each other. Give the impression that you're playing around on the computer. So here we have the actual end game. So things are a little different now. I kind of warped the manager closer to you because he's going to do something right now. Ooh. And Spider Demon. Oh crap, I'm dead. Alright. That was totally intentional. But yeah, basically that game over animation was just me shaking the camera around a bit. The Spider Demon only has one animation. But I mean, his job is just to, you know, freak you out, stare around. His behavior is slightly different. So we have the initial version of the manager who's a little bit more faster. He's supposed to catch up with us, but I'm not going to let him. But the way the spider monster works is he works a little different than the normal manager, whereas the normal manager kind of wandered around the stage right there. Ooh, this might be tricky. Hang on. You got me again. Okay. So it's hard to talk and play at the same time, but I'll just actually let him do his thing right away. The only changes here is his behavior is basically alternates between chasing you, and when you're out of sight, instead of randomly patrolling around the map, he'll randomly patrol the area near the player. So he's not quite cheating, which is what the first version of what he did. I was originally just going to ping your location to the boss monster every time, but that felt really cheap. So, you might have already seen here, these pink webbing, its only real role is to slow you down, so it's not a big deal unless he's chasing you, in which case if you go into one of those, he's going to catch up to you because he doesn't slow down when he's on webs. And the other thing was the echo spider, so you can hear dialogue in the background. And it's basically just to throw you off and make you think you're somewhere else than you is. So you hear a voice over there. You think the boss monster's over there, so you look over here and, oh, there he is. That's kind of the concept over there. I didn't want to change things up too much and like introduce a gun or start turning this game to a shooter or something like that, just because it's meant to be kind of a slower paced stealth-ish game. Stealth-like. But obviously this was a project that started off as a simple idea and just got more and more complicated over time. First time I actually had to go back over my code, because I finished it, but it was so broken I had to go back and just refactor everything to simplify it. Actually, I could actually start making changes and add additions to it. Like, it didn't look like this originally. It was, the UI was a lot more sloppy. And then there wasn't a sprint function, which I've been using this whole time, but it's not. I think people were asking for sprint last time before, so I just added it in this game. It's just, you hit the button, you move at 2 times speed for a little bit, then you slow down again. But, yeah, that's pretty much the game. I'm just gonna go and finish off and get the game over, or, get the ending now, but was there anything else? I don't think so. Oh wait, I'm gonna die. Yeah, alright, he's got me. Get the elevator. Yeah, alright. And we're in. So this is that cutscene right here. Oh yeah. Oscar award winning.
You win this round, Mr. Anderson.
So that's the game. It was a bit more complicated than the creepy warehouse game. There's a bit more going on. It doesn't really rely on jump scares as much, but it's a lot more programmatically interesting, I think. There was a lot more technical stuff happening. Just with all the tasks and trying to imagine, how you progress through this game or trying to make this mini game a bit more substantial. And but that's basically it. So thanks for watching.